Hey, empathic healers. The question of the day: do you have a difficult time identifying what you are feeling? So, as we talked about yesterday, part of the trick is just figuring out what is ours and then identifying what it is. So, are you ready to dig a little deeper? Grab your journal and journal with me. Today, we are talking about emotions, which is energy and motion, right? And sacral chakra energy. So, welcome to the Energy Healing Lifestyle Journal Self Care Challenge Day 16. Again, my name is Robin Knott, and I am your host of Energy Healing TV and podcast on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify, and the founder of the EnergyHealingSchool.com. I'm a certified Reiki Master Teacher and have a Master of Social Work degree specializing in mental health and addiction treatment. I'm here to teach fellow empathic healers various energy healing methods with a strong focus, let me emphasize, strong focus on self-care, self-worth, and self-love without feelings of blame, shame, or guilt. Self-care is not selfish. Self-love is not selfish. Feeling worthy is not selfish. That. Okay, so back to the question. One thing that came up in my journaling today, thinking about our emotions, and again, being able to shift and differentiate what's mine and what isn't, and then the second task of identifying it. So remember, when we think about emotions, they're one word, right? Happy, sad, angry, hungry, tired, exhausted, drained, excited, whatever that may be. So you can Google, and I did actually just for the point of reference, switching my screen there a little bit. You can Google a list of emotions. Some I hardly think of. They're just not common, at least in my own vocabulary, not words that I use every single day. And then some are. But they kind of list, or can, some do list them out, and you have your primary emotions on the top, like strong or sad, anger, surprise, tired, and then you have some that fall underneath. So under strong, you might also feel ambitious or determined, right? Empowered, I love that word. Unique or dynamic. Confident, bold, I've said that one before. And then sometimes we hear powerful as well, right? Or you might feel sad. And what else can we feel that leads to sadness or can feel a lot like sadness? Um, Maybe depressed, maybe crushed. That's a deep word, isn't it? Frustrated, rejected, upset. Sometimes that's a common word I'll use, just upset. And then anger. I'm not going to go through all of them, but just to give an idea. Sometimes we think it's all anger because that one's kind of easy to identify. Sometimes it's not quite as intense as anger or like rageful, but maybe we feel criticized or irritated, annoyed or resentful, right? So just to give some ideas. But are you able to just identify in one word like what you're feeling? So in this moment right now, what are you feeling? Here it's getting late, so tired might be one. Or maybe it's dinner time for you and you're feeling hungry. Are you feeling happy and excited or sad or frustrated, irritated? What is it for you? And do you know that it's yours? So again, yesterday, remember we talked about being grounded in our bodies. So being fully aware, aware, assess, and align, right? Our 3 steps in our journaling process. Being aware of what we are feeling. So I talked a lot about emotions because the sacral chakra governs our emotions, but we can also tap into our physical bodies and see what we feel, right? Because that can help us identify when we're not real sure, and we can start to link some things together. So tension, sometimes, if you're like me, you may hold that in your neck or in your shoulders. So when my neck and shoulders are starting to feel tight, I can really check in with myself, like, okay, what's going on? And may find something a little deeper as we do our journaling process, right? Something might come up that wasn't yet into our awareness. So we can bring it into our awareness. And then assess that. Assess how you're feeling to see if it's in alignment with the source of unconditional love. If it's not, there's no blame, shame, and guilt, right? We're human. We have human emotions. It's like so normal. What is one action step we can take to get into alignment with the source of unconditional love. And sometimes that step is truly just sitting with whatever it is we're feeling, holding space for it. It's not pushing it away. We're not avoiding it. We're not shoving it. We're not trying to quickly change it to deny it the attention that it needs. But it's showing up for a reason, right? When we feel it to heal it, right? So when we allow that space to feel whatever it is we're feeling, so whether it's excitement, because we love feeling that, right? Or sadness or whatever, it allows it to heal. We give it the attention that it needs, which is an action step towards the energy, the source of unconditional love. Also, protecting our energy, right? So, how quickly do we get shoved, or does that emotion change and shift? Regardless of what the emotion is, how quickly are we sucked into someone else's emotion, someone else's energy? How quickly does that feel? Does it feel like that comes to take over or muddies our perspective, muddies our awareness, muddies our own feeling? And something you really want to be aware of as well, right? And I don't mean we need to protect ourselves in the way of like, oh, put up a shield and don't allow ourselves to have empathy for others, or don't allow ourselves to share energy or feelings, emotions with others, but not to be taken over by them, right? How often do we get taken over by them? I did a lot. It's gotten better with boundaries, knowing what's mine, learning how to protect my own energy. And then, of course, bringing in the appreciation, appreciating those moments, appreciating this opportunity to check in with me just to see what I'm feeling, appreciating the opportunity to just sit with whatever it is I'm feeling, to honor that, to honor myself enough to give myself and whatever it is that's coming up for me the attention, the time, and the space that it deserves. Appreciating that I can grab my journal, that I can write it all out, um, good, good, bad, or indifferent, however we want to title it and label it, and process through that, right? Again, there's so much benefits just in journaling in itself. Again, if you're like me, my hand cannot keep up with my brain. The thoughts come in too quickly. So grabbing my pen and paper, writing down whatever comes to mind slows my brain down. That in itself is a benefit. It allows us to debrief in a way, to get out whatever it is we're thinking and what we're feeling, and then it reduces stress by being able to do that, right? That is a benefit within itself. And again, I find that, excuse me, when I'm writing things out and then I go back and reflect, I'm like, is that is that mine? Sometimes it's just leftover programming, that habitual pattern of thought that isn't even what I truly believe anymore. So being aware that it's still coming up, that it's still cycling, so that I can intentionally be more aware of what I'm thinking to shift and change as necessary. The brains are pretty powerful, right? But so is our soul, so is spirit. What else? Let me check my journal, see what else came in for the day to share. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. If you're journaling with me and you want to share your experience, what comes up for you, what comes up into your own awareness, drop those in the comments. It'd be great to hear from you. What else? And of course, okay, sacral chakra, healing, energy. That came in as well. And just really focusing like on what the sacral chakra governs. So it governs our emotions. It's part of creation, right? Our creativity, reproduction. Think of that in the sense of emotions as well. What emotions are we creating? Emotions are energy and motion. We put that out, more comes back. Sometimes that's great. Other times it's not what we want, right? Other times it can really knock us off our feet a little bit, or more than a little bit. But reproducing, So often we think of like reproduction in the literal sense, and it is, it's that too. And also, again, in our emotions and our manifesting. What are we reproducing those patterns? When things seem too good, is it a pattern to sabotage it because we're not used to it, right? Think about that. What else? Do you find that you have emotions that are more uncomfortable and not because we don't like the way they feel, but because we're not used to them? So, like, if you aren't used to having a sense of safety and you start to feel safe, does it feel weird? That might sound weird until you experience it. We're humans. We have programs, we have conditions. Even though things don't feel good, it can feel comfortable because we're used to it, right? Again, it's no blame, shame, and guilt. It's just awareness. Whatever comes up for you, we're not going to hide it. It's our journal. We can do what we want to with it, right? We don't have to share it. We can share it. This is for us, though. Still checking. Let me make sure I covered everything. I think I went through that pretty quickly, but covered it. Yeah. So again, let me know if you have any questions, any aha moments. As I say, homework, if you will, check in with yourself. Grab your journals, obviously. Be aware of what you're feeling. Is it yours? Remember, literally just ask yourself, is this mine? If you feel that slight shift, it might not be a big one, but if you feel a shift, then it's not yours. And go ahead and release that. Send it back to its original source. If it lingers and it sticks, it probably is yours. So then sit with that for a minute. Identify, what is this feeling? What am I feeling? Pull up a list. See how many fit. Which words resonate with you in that moment. Bring it into your awareness. You don't have to force anything. It's okay if you don't know. Just sit with it anyway. Again, assess, is it in alignment with the source of unconditional love? If not, what's an action step you can take to get into alignment? And again, holding that space for yourself, just allowing yourself that time to feel, is an action step. Also, if you haven't already, sign up for the Empathic Healers Masterclass. It's a step-by-step guide to set boundaries and protect your energy. I'm super excited to share that. I go live with that in November 20th. The link is in the description. It's free of charge. And then, of course, meet me back here tomorrow to talk about our solar plexus chakra and our self image and meeting ourselves with love and compassion, right? Thank you for spending your time and sharing your time and space with me, whether you were with me on live or come back on the replay. Take good care of you. So much love. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.